when we give this to our students, and we're like, okay, because we'll have.
Now, my wife, I just broke down. I said,
hello, 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 and welcome to the show. Who are you? I am your host, Dr. Leah, and it is Friday. Yes, indeed. It's been a while since we were on. We've had quite a lot of things happening, and so we had a lot of guests who had a lot of things happening around, and so we had to reschedule things around. But nevertheless, we are on today, and we are having our guest already waiting. She is a leader and a server, understanding that growth comes in every season. So it doesn't matter where you are at your journey, growth comes in every season. She graduated from Fisk University with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Sociology and as a master's degree in human services from Springfield College. So she is the founder of Future Entrepreneurs Moving Ahead. So if you're an entrepreneur coming up, or you're still trying to gauge on your line, she is a founder of a Future Entrepreneur Moving Ahead. So she will be talking to us how to be moving on with our businesses, how to grow them, how she grew hers, from where she started to where she is. It's an establishment that looks to motivate youths to be strong, resource-driven, and goal-oriented entrepreneurs. And I'm so happy to have her because we are having a lot of young people who are coming up, and we just don't want them to be hanging on, waiting to be employed and looking for 10 years for a job that they desire, where else they have skills, talents, and everything that they need to be who they are purposed to be. So we are going to bring her on. We are not going to take a lot of your time so that we can get to know who she is. Hello, hello, hello. How are you? You're muted.
Oh. Hello, everyone. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much, Laneice, for joining into my show today. Who are you? I am so glad that you're here, and I'm so glad to have this discussion with you because I believe that you have a lot of nuggets and a lot of great things to, tell to our audience, and also to, support the young generation that will be also watching this video later or anytime in the show.
I do. Thank you so much for having me. I am so excited about being here. I feel very honored, and I'm excited just to share my story, share my journey, share about everything that God has just blessed me with. And so thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
So, without further ado, please introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And why? What do you do?
So my name is Laneice McGee, and I am a director for the Department of Workforce Development, where we connect people to employment through their career, or rather they're ready to level up, as young people would say. We do that. I also am the co-founder of an organization called Big, Beautiful, and Blessed, where we empower women, and we use the tool of modeling to just remind them how beautiful and how powerful they are. And also I work with youth in a program called Future Entrepreneurs Moving Ahead.
Super, super. So talk to us about your journey, a little bit about your journey, from where you started, and why did you choose to have this business that you're doing, mentoring the youth with, because there is definitely a meaning for the company title, moving ahead, future moving ahead.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your journey before that.
Yes. So basically, I went to Fisk University. That's where I went to college at, which is an historically Black college. And I was looking to be an educator. And so I always had a passion for working with the youth. So that has always been in my heart. I ended up changing my major and going into sociology. After doing some student teaching, I was like, I don't know if I want to teach full time, like every single day. So I kind of changed my mind, but I still had a passion for working with the youth. And so when I graduated, and then I started working in the field that I was working in, I still just like wanted to work with the youth somehow. And I kind of ended up falling into what I'm doing with the youth by volunteering. So I started volunteering, helping adults connect to their purpose through entrepreneurship. And in that volunteering, the person who was over this event that I will volunteer at every year was looking for a youth organization to do this work with the youth who wanted to be entrepreneurs. Long story short, I was just like, you know what? I've been doing this with adults. I do really want to work with the youth. And so that's how it was birthed. It was birthed through volunteering. It was already birthed because I had a passion for working with the youth. And so I literally put an organization together like in a couple of months, raised some funds, and 4 years later, actually 5 now, COVID, we took a break. We are still here. And so that's kind of how I got started.
Awesome. Wow. And, it's so awesome that, the way you look at it, like, just apart from being an educator, you've been working with adults. And then, you saw that because you have a lot of the, younger people that are also in your midst, and you decided you want to put more effort, you want to put more of your skills and knowledge on them, you want to pour on them, nurture them to come to their purpose, to see their purpose, to arrive to their purpose.
Yes.
How different was it for you? How did you feel just being able to work with both sides, adults and young people? And what would you say was your takeaway, point?
So basically what I found was I was thinking, man, what if we could give this knowledge to the youth, not like while they're youth? Like, how much further would they be by the time they were adults? And so that was my biggest takeaway. What I was finding is that a lot of times the things that as adults we were still needing, still lacking. And then I'm like, wow, this information needs to get to the youth now. Like, we need to realize at a young age that, like, getting over that fear of failure, getting over that fear of stepping out. And if we can just try and take risks when we're young and believe in ourselves, like right away, I think that as we get older and things like that, we're more willing to bet on ourselves. We're more willing to take a chance on ourselves. We're more willing to say, you know what, I have this, I can do this, because it is then ingrained in us that we are worth it. And so that was really the biggest difference that I seen. Like, a lot of times we wait. And so I'm like, man, let's start young. Because when you're older, it is a lot at risk. You have bills, you have all these different kind of responsibilities that when you're younger, and some younger people do have, I'm not going to negate the different things that some young people go through, but there's a different level of responsibility when you are an adult.
Exactly. And it's so beautiful, just how you've put it, saying, they navigate things differently, like unlike the adults do. And it's we are in a period where we see a lot of young generation, especially like in these seasons where the pandemic came in, and there were so many things that are stagnating for so many people. And here we have people, young generations who are in school, they're aspiring to be somewhere in the future, for jobs or for careers or for wherever purpose. Now that you've been working with them, talk to us how different it feels, like, how do you get to that place where now you because it's kind of motivating them, empowering them, and at the same time also encouraging them that there is still a lot of things that they can do, and they are to begin by themselves to look at the future and to look at their perspective with a different eye.
Yeah, so basically, it's just really setting up a system that works and really having mentors and knowing that I don't have to do it alone either. And so, having that support system set up, working with other entrepreneurs and other support systems to help the youth, and understanding that the youth have barriers too. Sometimes the barriers can be transportation, sometimes the barriers they have to babysit their younger siblings. There's so many things that can be a barrier for them even to pursue their own dreams that you have to deal with. So it's not just as easy as I'm going to help the youth. You have to really look at, okay, what all will it take just to help the youth? What is going to keep them motivated? What is going to help them stay involved? And then dealing with their negative talk. And sometimes it's not their negative talk. It could be the negative talk of those around them. How do you deal with that? So there's so many things that you have to really kind of deal with when working with the youth, because when you work with the youth, you're really working with the whole family. Even if the whole family's not there, the youth brings the whole family with them. They're bringing their whole family beliefs. They're bringing their whole family traditions. They're bringing their whole family's doubts or whatever that may be. So it's just like, okay, how can I do this, and what can we do to make sure that the child is set up to still succeed, still push through? And so that in itself can be a challenge, but it can, again, when you yourself have to surround yourself with other people to support you as well. And so this is not something that is for the light at heart. And some things you don't know until it happens and it comes up. So that's what I've learned and still learning.
Yes. And it's good, because learning is something that never ends. We learn, every day we are learning something new. We are learning things from the old people. We are learning things with the younger people. We are learning things with our own generation. And, it doesn't matter where we are at. We still have something that we learn, even to, the people that we mentor, we motivate, we encourage. We also learn something from them. And, that's the reason why I started this show, because, learning, it enabled me to know how it's a season where, we are growing and we are learning to do things differently. We are learning how to work with the technology. We are learning how to do businesses online. We are learning how to network with people that would never actually meet on a face-to-face daily basis, just being able to host people from all over the world. And I've never met them, and I will never meet them, but the technology and the season has given me the opportunity to be able to meet all of you beautiful people out there. And learning is a thing that we don't stop doing. Even when we are old, we still learn, because there is always a new thing that will come. Give us a little bit of advice, like 3, 4, 5 points, what some of the parents can take home for their youth people around them, because you've talked about, when you're mentoring them, when you're nurturing them, remember, they're bringing their families with them. They're bringing, all the negative talks or positive talks, some of them, that is within their family, within their, their community, that is being spoken to them. What advice would you give a lot of parents who have youth around them, or just the community that has youth around them, and how they can begin to learn to, nurture them also?
So the first piece of advice that I would give is, for one, they need to continue to believe in themselves. So if they're not, that's one piece of advice, because we have to remember that youth are watching. They watch those. And even though sometimes, especially if you're the parents, you feel like you don't have as much influence over your children because they're so influenced by their friends, by TV, by whatever else, but they're still watching you, and you do have a huge impact, even if they don't verbalize it, and even if they don't act it out right away. It is ingrained in their mind. They are seeing it, and so they remember it. They know it. They're watching. And so the most important thing is that you're believing in yourself, and that your language match that what you believe. So watch your own talk. And then Another thing is live your dreams, pursue your dreams. And this goes back to making sure that you're believing in yourself and you're doing that. So those things are so important because we're teaching our children. We're not just, it's not do as I say, it's do as I do. So if I'm willing to take a risk on myself, I want you to know that you can take a risk on you. If I'm willing to say, you know what, I messed up, but I got up again. Guess what? You can mess up. You can get up again. And the next thing I would advise is to be willing to apologize. You know, that I think that we forget that as adults, we don't have all the answers, and just to have that open dialogue. And again, it's modeling the way. We are their models. And I have so many tips. Talk about money.
Wow.
Talk about money with your children so they understand the value of money. A lot of times, well, I don't want to say a lot of times, I can just say based upon my experience, based upon what I see, we want to give our children what we didn't have. We want to provide them. And yes, we do. I understand that. But in doing that, make sure that there's a lesson that comes along. Make sure that they're learning the value of it. I'll never forget, I don't remember the person who taught this, but I'll never forget what was said. It was a wealth teacher, and she said growing up, a lesson that she learned from her father was when she got her allowance, the only way that she could get her allowance again was not by cleaning her room, because that was part of her responsibilities. They all had responsibilities. The only way she could get her allowance the next week was by telling her father where her money went.
Wow.
She had to understand where her money went. And I thought about that, and I'm like, even as an adult, I had to start teaching myself, okay, where did I spend this money? Where did this money go? How much did I save? If we can teach our children at a young age, even when we give, I don't care if we're giving them $5. Okay, how much of that $5 did you save? How much of that did you invest in yourself? Where did your $5? Because if they can understand where $5 go, they can understand where 5 million go.
Exactly.
So teaching them at a young age, where understanding money, and we can't be afraid to conversate about it. They have to understand that it does not grow on trees, that you work hard for it, you invest in it, you invest in yourself. And so just having these real life conversations with our kids, we talk about, they see everything else. Let's talk about the things that's going to help them to be financially successful in the long run too. So if they want to open their own business, whatever they want to do, that they are setting themselves up for that. I mean, those are some of the main tips, really just having those candid conversations about believing in themselves, mistakes we make, and what to do with your finances and the language that we speak.
Awesome. We are going to make a short break, and when we come back, we are going to hear from Laneice about her book that she wrote, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about why she wrote the book and what and where we can get the book. So we are going to get a little bit more of insight inside her book, because it is so valuable. It has a lot of very beautiful information. The title is very good. And so we are going to get more about that in a short while. Hello and welcome back to the show, Who Are You? I am your host, Dr. Leah, and our guest today is Laneice. And Laneice has already talked to us about the things that she is doing and how she is working with the with her empowerment and motivation and encouraging of the youth, how she started. And now we are going to talk about her book. She's an author of 7 Day Journey to Discovering Your Purpose, God's Vision, My Hand, Partnership with the Divine. Talk to us about the book.
Yes, thank you so much. Here it is. 7 Day Journey to Discovering and Living Your Purpose, God's Vision, My Hands. I am so grateful for this book. It was a journey to get to this book. And so this book is for anyone that says, what is my purpose? What was I born to do? Or for anybody that is living in their purpose, but they feel stuck in the moment. They don't know what their next move is. And the beauty about this book is I really believe that God's hand is on this and that God will speak to you through the pages of the book. God created the world in 6 days. On the 7th day, he rests. Rest is very important in understanding your purpose because we have to rest so that we can hear and we can receive. I believe that if he can do that in 7 days, why can't he speak to you for clarity within 7 days? And so it's a 7-day devotional with action steps for you to actually step through a process on what to do each and every day so that you are having clear steps to hear what you need to do so that you are living your life to the fullest, the God plan, not the our plan, but the God plan. So I believe that he uses our hands for his glory. So that's what this book is all about. It's about you. He created you. And so I believe that he wants to make sure that you are doing what he's designed you to do.
Talk to us, because with the title, you said partner with the divine. Give us a little bit more about what you meant and what was your idea about partnering with the divine?
So I believe that it's very important that because he designed us, it's kind of like when you think about a car, when you think about anything that's manufactured or made, whoever made that, they know exactly how it functions, what works, what doesn't work, and what it's supposed to do. We were created by the creator. So everything that we do, it should be in partnership with him.
Exactly.
We have not because we ask not, right? And so we need to ask him for guidance. In all our ways, acknowledge him and he will direct our path. And so when it comes to this, it's a partnership. Because he created us, because we are his creation, we need to go to the creator to find out, what did you create me to do? Exactly. How should my skill set and my talent be used for your glory in the marketplace, in ministry, with my family? We try to separate it all, but everything that we do can be for his glory if we ask.
Oh, yes. And I really love the way you said, going to the creator to talk to him and ask why you created me, because he has a purpose why he created you. He had a vision. And I know God's general vision for all of us is that we will grow to, glorify him, to live in abundance as he provides for us. Talk to us. Why this book? What brought you to come and write this book, and how important was it for you to have this book come out?
Well, this book was downloaded into me 4 years ago, and not this exact book. Originally, it was just called 7 Day Journey. Actually, 7 Day was never part of it. It was just about discovering your purpose through entrepreneurship and God's vision, my hands, and God added the 7 day part to it later. And so originally, a friend of mine had came to me and was like, you should write your book and things of that nature. So it was a 90-day journey to write the book. And then as I was writing it, God just really said, you're focused on one area. And he's like, I don't have to just focus on people who want to be entrepreneurs. I can tell anybody anything, whether they're meant to be an entrepreneur, whether they're meant to work in ministry, whether they're meant to. And so he just started downloading it into me. And it was it was extremely important because I almost didn't write this book. It almost didn't make it to print. And so I know that it was him and he used my hands for it, and I'm grateful for it.
Wow, awesome. And I know we didn't plan for it, but I would just ask you, maybe you can read to us what maybe a chapter or a page or a paragraph that for you means a lot, and it is something that you'd always want to speak out with people.
Okay, I will go to, I just opened up a page because all of it is beautiful to me, of course.
Awesome.
So in chapter, on day 2, because it's broken down by days, day 2, we talk about being authentically you. And so how can I be authentically me when I don't love the me that I see? How can I operate my purpose comfortably if I have not embraced who I am? Proverbs 23:7 says, "For as he thinks in his heart, so is he." I must know the who before I know the what. Exactly. So, and I go way deeper into it. And then every chapter ends with a prayer, and every chapter ends with a practical application. And so things that you actually should do. So each day will send you on a different journey. And then the end, after you finish the 7 days, there's actually enough for you to do a whole year if you want to just continue the journey after God has revealed that which he wants you to do or to continue to do.
Wow, awesome. And I just love that, you read the day 2, and it is so perfect matching with our show because, you talk about knowing who you are. Before you know why, you need to know who am I? Why am I created? What is my purpose? Because when you understand who you are, then you get to know that you get to understand. So what is my purpose, and what am I walking my purpose, or am I deviating into other people's purposes? And I'm so glad that you read that chapter. So the whole book is about knowing yourself. The whole book is about speaking to your creator to understand your purpose, understanding clearly, having clarity on your journey, your purpose here on earth, what you are supposed to fulfill. And I love the way you've combined those days with the Bible verse. And I believe there is a portion of journaling where somebody can write their thoughts or the things that they hear from the creator speaking to them about their personal journey, about their personal purposes, so that they can always go back and revisit that as they take time to meditate on what they are, the journey that they are taking or the journey that they are stepping into. So thank you so much, Laneice, for sharing with us, who you are, sharing with us your book, sharing with us what the things that you're doing, to better up the community around you. Tell us where people can get in contact with you and also get to buy your books.
Yes, they can go to, you can find me, Laneice Leads. If you look Laneice Leads, you'll find me anywhere, social media, anywhere, just Laneice Leads. You can find the book at 7 Days to Purpose, 7daystopurpose.com.
Awesome.
And there's also videos and everything attached. You can, if you look Laneice Leads on the YouTube, you can see the videos, and that will definitely make you want to get the book because the videos are really good. So there's 7 videos that go along with each day too. So it's just a whole big package that you really enjoy.
Awesome. That's a bonus because, there are people who relate a lot when people are talking or when somebody's explaining something. They kind of grab a lot of information, they jot down, and they can be able to relate with the book. And that is perfect that you have. You also have the YouTube channel for people to be able to follow through with the 7 days and understand what the book is about and how they can really make use and better use effectively for themselves with the book. So thank you so much, Laneice,
Thank you.
coming up to our show today, and thank you to our viewers who have been watching with us and who will be watching even later. And we hope that you will enjoy this and you will be able to grab a copy of the 7 days journey to your purpose, because it is about us understanding our purposes and walking our purpose and not walking other people's purpose. So it will be very, very good if you could get that knowledge so that you can be able to, discover yourself and discover your God-given purpose. So next week we have our guest from Chicago that will be on the 5th of March, and she is the president of Chicago chapter Women Wife Entrepreneur Network. So we will get to know who she is, what she does in conjunction with her being a president for the chapter of Women Wife International Network. So don't forget to join us next week on Friday. We will be on the same show with our guest Opal Mullings, and she will be talking to us about how her journey looks like and who she is. So stay tuned, watch our page, and also follow us on YouTube. You can get me on YouTube with my name, Leah Reddick, and you can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram also as well, Leah Reddick. And you don't miss anything that we do, any shows that we do here, because we bring great guests so that you can be able to be empowered, to be encouraged, and be able to grow in your line, in your purpose, with self-realization of who you are. So thank you very much. Until next time, it's me, your host, Dr. Leah, and our guest, Laneice McGee.